Good afternoon and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison. Certainly glad to have you. And as always, you can see our program on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber's Channel 18. And today we have with us Vanda Wilhoit and Emory Olinger from the Bledsoe County Fair Board. And Emory's a junior Fair Board member, and Miss Wilhoit, she's a member of the Fair Board. And today we're going to be talking about their upcoming event, auction and supper. And first of all, let me say thank you for being with us. We are certainly glad to have you. And I want you to tell us a little bit about this. It's the Country Farming Auction event that you got coming up on the 25th. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what all is entailed? What's the meal? How does it all transpire? How does it go?
The meal is a chili supper. Okay, wait. The meal is a chili supper, and then followed by an auction, which you bring an item, and then you will have a live auction to watch.
Live auction. Is that going to be held here in the building?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now y'all been doing this 3 years? Is that correct?
Yes.
And so we already mentioned the food, the chili. Now the auction, is that a silent auction, or how does that transpire?
It is not a silent auction, it's a live auction. You will know everything that will be sold, and you will know who is bidding and who is not bidding. All the proceeds go directly to the fair. It is the major fundraiser for our fair week.
Okay, and that's and all those funds go to helping the fair get going, I guess.
Yeah.
And all the things that happen. I know that excuse me, the fair is in August, correct?
Yes. The dates for the fair are
August the 3rd through the 6th.
August 3rd through the 6th. And I know y'all got a big fair. Y'all always have a good fair that go on. You get a lot of participation, especially a lot of people from out of the area, not just Pikeville. You have a lot of people come in and see the fair. And y'all been very productive as far as what you do and the type of fair you have, as far as getting things out for people like the fair. I mean, you get a lot of comments about your fair. People come in and see your fair and come back, right?
Yes.
And now all your proceeds go to the fair. And what are some of the things that we talked about, the auction items? Can people just come to the fair board, or who do they contact if they have something they want to donate?
They need to contact any of the fair board members, or contact Brian Wyatt. The number is 423-240-5533, and the fair board members will come and pick it up. And we have a meeting on February the 22nd that we're going to get ready for this ordeal, for the auction and stuff.
Now, right now you have a few items already for the auction.
Yes.
What are some of those items?
Okay, some of the items we've got a water hose, a tool set, wash your car, things to wash your car with. We've got the pedal tractors that's going to come up. Some people are going to do baked goods in the sale, and those are just some of the items that we will be having.
And I know you've got more to come. I know there's more out there that's going to be coming. And this has always been a pretty good fundraiser for the fair, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
And like you say, it's only been around 3 years, so it's been a good program to get started.
Right. And the fair this year is 103 years.
103 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you're a century fair then, I guess.
Yes.
And, well, that's a good thing that you can keep a fair going on that long. And with the programs, I was talking to Mr. Wyatt the other day, and he's talking about some things that are coming that they're working on. They haven't got finalized yet, that he's really excited about.
Yes. This year is going to be a great, wonderful fair because we have a lot of new items coming in, new activities coming in, and we're doing different entertainment and everything else this year. It's going to be a great fair.
Now y'all going to have some different things each night, right?
Yes, sir.
So that'll attract all kind of crowds. I mean, there's I know you got some musical entertainment planned. You have a youth night planned, and what are some of the other things you might have planned that you can tell me?
We have a rodeo planned, and it's planned for Friday and Saturday night. Then we're going to do cornhole, and they're going to do something with cards and stuff like that, I think. They're going to do different entertainments going on. Horseshoes, maybe. I'm not for sure
okay.
what all.
So kind of like having some tournament like that type
Right.
things. Well, that'll be neat. And then of course I guess you'll get to crown the new
I will.
fairest of the fair, right?
I will.
And that was, I guess, exciting for you to do that, because that's always, I know in the ones I've been to in Sequatchie County, it always brings a lot of people and gets a lot of involvement from the community.
The pageants is one of the biggest nights of the fair. The pageants, and I would say the rodeos are, and well, last year was the youth night, but usually the pageants are what brings the most people into the fair.
Yeah, and your categories go from tiniest of the tiny
Itty bitty, all the way to 20.
So that's a good. I like the children. I like to see watching them a lot. They're cute. They're funny time. And now you already mentioned how they could donate, and mentioned this fair times. And that's the first week of August. Is that correct? Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that'll be held right here on the fairgrounds, and it's right here on the bypass, so everybody can't miss it. You'll probably hear it as well, I guess. And now, maybe you can't tell me right now. I think you've got maybe a new group of rides coming in. Is that something you can tell me about now, or?
I think it's a secret this year.
It's kind
Okay,
of a secret.
all right, we'll keep it
It's
a
on
secret.
the hush hush this
All
year.
right.
But it's very great and wonderful. Something
Different.
different for Pikeville.
Well, good, because I know y'all just recently got back from the state fair meeting or associate, whatever they call it. I'm not sure what the official title is. And I know I've also noticed a lot of when you talk about the fairs, when they have the state meet, a lot of the smaller counties, their fairs are ones that win a lot of times over the bigger counties.
Yes.
Now, is that divided up like into categories as far as size of population or the size of the counties, or how does that work?
The fairs are divided up. Like, we're in A group, single A, and that is the smallest population of everything, of the Tennessee, the smallest group. Then there's a double A, and it's the middle section. I forget the numbers, but it's the middle group. And then there's a triple A, which is a very large fair.
Yeah, like the ones in Nashville,
In Nashville,
stuff like that.
Knoxville, and all of those are, even Chattanooga's connected into the AAA.
Oh, okay. So that makes it even then, because y'all couldn't really compete on a level like that because of money for one, and you just don't have the ability to attract the crowds that they may because of the population. So that's good. Now, is there, excuse me, anything in the works right now that you can tell us about the auction or about the fair, that you can tell us any stuff that regularly goes on?
The regular fair, we're obviously going to have all the livestock shows, the pageant, the dog shows, everything like that is still going to be involved. But the main focal point of this fair this year is the rally night.
The
for all
rally
the
night.
kids, yes. That's the main focal point for this fair this year.
And that's for the young people, right?
Yes.
The rally night?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. That's going to be on, is it Wednesday night they're going to have that?
Wednesday night.
But we're going to have special things for the kids every night this time.
Oh, well, that'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
So you can bring them back each
Yes.
night.
Yeah.
Instead of just for one night, you
Yeah.
bring them back. And I haven't mentioned or asked about cost. What would be the cost? Y'all have a cost for admission?
The gate admission, I'm not for sure what it is on Wednesday night. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it's $10 admission. And then, counting that, they'll have to do an armband.
Okay, so the armband gives you leeway to come and go.
Yes. I mean, you can ride, with the armband, you can ride as many rides as you want to ride for a certain price. And you just have to keep your band on your arm
Well,
for that night.
That should work. Now, I know, and I hate to even bring this up because it's a sore point with me, but with COVID, are there going to be any things y'all would do with COVID restrictions, or are you just going to, since it's outside, it's one thing. I mean, you're open where you're not necessarily in close contact with everybody.
I don't think we're gonna do anything.
We don't
this
really
year.
do anything special for it.
I know we didn't have a fair for a year just so we could take a breather and everybody acclimated to it, but I think we're trying to make it as normal as we possibly can.
And I think things are also getting kind of, I don't know if we ever get back to normal, but it's kind of slowing down a little bit, I think. At least I hope so, anyway.
Right.
Well, now, talking about the fair, you're not going to bring any fish to fry, are you?
I'm not. That is a separate show. That is a separate show.
But we should tell everybody that was meant as a joke because she is a fisherman at the high school, a fish team, and does quite well.
Thank you.
And I know you get that from your daddy, right?
I do.
You learned a lot of tricks from your daddy, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But I was just kidding about that. But you know, a fair is a way for people. I know you probably have things like the canned goods and all the produce and all that, and that's one way for people who are not around canning or the produce to actually see those things and you know, kind of get a nice feel for those things, because we've lost a lot of the canning, which used to be just kind of a normal way of life for most people, and that's not done that much anymore. And when you have people that participate in that, is that usually a pretty good participation? Do you have a lot of people participate in that?
We do, but
It's not like it used to be. It was a lot bigger and a lot wider range in ages too, not just older people doing the canning. It was more younger people too, and now it's mostly just the younger people that are involved in it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
but it's hard to get the younger people involved.
They are more involved, but it's hard to get them involved, if that makes sense.
Right. Well, yes, I
Yeah.
certainly understand that.
Yeah.
And like quilts and stuff like that, we don't have that many that do quilts.
That's another lost art.
Are
And desserts.
Africans, and you know, we have been down on the bacon last couple of years. We have not done that real good in that, and the canning, like I said, has been down. And then a lot of people, which we didn't have them last year, but we do end up with a lot of photos that people to bring throughout the year that they have taken. And a lot of the little children will do artwork. That's
The biggest thing.
the
I would
biggest
say.
thing. Imagination Library, we had that this year, and that was really good. That the kids wanting to do that, and we have the Girl Scouts that set up an exhibit. Emory did one for the fishing, and then she did one for the beehives, and we have different people throughout that set
A
up.
lot of school clubs end up doing it too, like FFA, and people like that. People who are in the community that they try to be as involved as they can, and they see an opportunity. Like we do pay out for the exhibits. We do pay out for anybody who does entry and they place. We do pay, and you'll see when you walk in here, they'll all be along the wall, and it'll be like Girl Scouts and all of those clubs that not a lot of people participate in, but they are still very involved in the community.
Well, good. So you get a lot from the high school as well.
We
And
do.
what about the middle school level?
We
and
do not
elementary?
get as much from middle school because the middle school don't have a lot of clubs like the high school does. So we end up getting a lot of more entries from the high school instead of the middle school and say elementary and everything like that.
Well, do you, since you mentioned you don't have as many in the baking and everything like you used to, do y'all do any like little workshops teaching that, like throughout the warmer months? You know, that you could have where people would come and you teach them how to do some of those things that they didn't know?
We've thought about posting and like every month posting a craft that you could possibly enter into the fair. Like say if you just did a number drawing, like you can just go pick that up at the dollar store and you can do it and you can enter it into the fair. And there's a lot of things like we've thought about posting ideas that you can do for the fair, like say post recipes, post the way that you can foods. The biggest thing that I think we've all tried to push is the Pig Pikeville, Tennessee, and that's one of the biggest things that we have going inside the exhibit hall.
Well, that's good because a lot of people, it's not negative, but a lot of people don't know about Pikeville. They're from the outside, a lot of the tourists, and I know people have come here not realizing that Pikeville was here. They've come to the falls or to the park or something, and then they happen to drive through Pikeville and stop and stay for a while. So that's good promotion. So that's a good promotion, I think. You know, to pick Pikeville, choose Pikeville, and Pikeville's growing. There's a lot of new businesses coming to town, and so that brings more people in. So that's a good thing. Now everything will be held right here on the grounds, right? Nothing will be outside the grounds.
Right. No. We're doing the pageant. It's so many weeks before the fair. But everything will be posted and saying when it's going to be. That those are going to be before the fair, and then we're doing the Parker Hall and Horse Show. That'll be also before the fair. We do different activities before the fair. We get it going.
And that's all to help raise money for the fair. Because a lot of people think that you just have a fair and you have all these rides and things that come, and they don't realize it costs money, you know.
Yes, and we have to have money to get everything in.
Right. I mean, there's down, you put down a deposit and things for people to show up and things to do, and so there's a lot involved. Now, if someone wanted to get involved with the fair group, how would they do that?
You would just contact somebody on the fair board and show up to a meeting. You would be a fair board friend for the first year, and then if you wanted to be on the fair board, you could run for an office and you would be able to vote after 1 year. Now,
do you have all your meetings here?
Yes.
We do have all of them.
When do they occur? Is there a certain time y'all meet?
It's the second Tuesday of each month.
Yes.
And how many people right now do you have on your fair board or volunteers?
We have about 20 on the fair board.
So that's a good range, and I guess you have a variety of ages there too as well.
Yes, and we're starting back up with the youth this time, the high school.
The next year.
For next year, we're getting it going.
Like the junior fair board, is that what you're talking about?
The
There's not
junior
really been
fair
a
board
drama.
is getting going again.
There's not really been a junior fair board, but I think we've all tried and pushed to. This is one of the biggest things that we have pushed, is trying to get the youth involved in the fair board and getting it involved in the fair. That is our main concern right now, but I think we're all pushing for the junior fair board again, because we did have it a few years ago before COVID hit, but COVID hit and it kind of set us pause on everything, and now we're trying to get it all back together.
Well, good, because that'll be good for to get the younger people involved and let them see the kind of the workings of the fair and the fair board, and that'll be good to get them involved as well.
People don't realize, I don't think, how much actually goes into the fair. It's not just that week. It's basically a whole year before.
Right.
Right as soon as you get done, you're starting over again.
Right, and I'm sure there's plenty of high school students that live on farms, you know, and their family has farms, or maybe a relative has farms, or they've been on farms, so they kind of know a little bit about farming, what it's about. So it's not like it's something new, but there's more to the farm board than just farming. You know, there's a lot of things out there that add to it. Well, is there anything else we need to add about the upcoming event or about the fair?
I think so.
I don't think so.
Rodeo event sponsors and clown sponsors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This can be one of those cards you add.
That's going to be.
Yeah, this is going to be a few auction highlights that we will have is the donations and the
donations for we're going to
The
do
shoot.
the shoots. We're going to do
rodeo shoots.
the rodeo shoot. Well, I should say the rodeo shoots. We're going to do the clown, a donation for the clown, and he will wear your shirt. We have donations that we will also take for the donkeys.
And if you would like to be one of those, you just get in contact with Brian White and he'll take care of it.
All right. You mentioned the clown wearing your shirt. Does that mean for companies that want to be involved?
So sponsorships, if you would like to
Sponsorships.
donate and become a sponsor, the clown will end up wearing your shirt on that night.
And the sponsorship, you usually you have a pretty good success with getting local people involved as far as sponsors, don't you?
We have, I can't remember how many sponsors we had last year, but we had a really good turnout of sponsors for the rodeo last year, and I think this year will be even better.
Well, I know in small towns, a lot
more people are involved in small towns.
And you get to where you would think the small businesses in small towns, they're the ones who continue to give. They don't,
Yes.
They're hit a lot. I know that, but
They are
But they
But-
never stop giving.
but they never stop giving because it's for their community.
And they realize the importance of that, I think.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to mention?
I don't think so.
I think that's all.
All right. Well, remember, folks, you can see this on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber's Channel 18. And until next time, we'll see you then. Hey everybody, this is Glenn Edison from Valley Views. We appreciate you watching our shows, and we would like for you to like, share, and follow us on Facebook, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube page.
Brought to you by Bledsoe Telephone Cooperative, your full-service telecommunications provider right here in the Sequatchie Valley.